They called him crazy, a man so obsessed with changing the air war that even his own pilots thought he had lost his mind. When the Allied bombers were being ripped apart by the Luftwaffe over Europe, this general walked into the room and said, "If we keep fighting this way, we'll lose the war. So let's stop defending and start hunting." Within weeks, his so-called reckless plan would cripple the German Air Force and turn the skies of Europe into Allied territory. This is the story of the mad general who destroyed the Luftwaffe. By late 1943, the air war over Germany was a nightmare. American bomber crews flying into enemy territory faced almost certain death. Their mission was to bomb Hitler's factories and cripple his war machine. But the Luftwaffe's elite fighter pilots tore them apart. Out of hundreds of bombers that left England, dozens never returned. Young airmen called it the death run. Every mission meant watching your friends vanish in flames over the clouds. Back in England, one-man General James "Jimmy" Doolittle watched these losses and realized something was terribly wrong. He wasn't a cautious bureaucrat. He was a scientist, a daredevil, a stunt pilot who had always believed that courage and innovation could change the impossible. Doolittle had led the famous raid on Tokyo 2 years earlier, proving America could strike back after Pearl Harbor. Now, he was about to take another gamble, one that would change the air war forever. At that time, American fighter pilots had one rule drilled into them: stay close to the bombers, protect them at all costs. It sounded sensible, but it was a death trap. The Luftwaffe simply waited for the fighters to turn home, then ripped into the helpless bombers. Doolittle decided to do something unthinkable. He told his fighter groups to abandon the bombers. "You're not bodyguards anymore," he said. "You're hunters. Find the enemy, destroy him in the air and on the ground." His superiors thought he was insane. Some pilots whispered that Doolittle's plan would get everyone killed. But he didn't care. He knew that the only way to win was to break the Luftwaffe's back. So in early 1944, the new orders went out. The American fighters P-47 Thunderbolts and the sleek new P-51 Mustangs took off not to escort but to hunt. They dived deep into German airspace, strafing airfields, fuel depots, and trains. They chased German planes back to their bases and destroyed them as they tried to land. The effect was immediate and devastating. For the first time, the skies over Germany no longer belonged to the Luftwaffe. Their veteran aces, already worn down by years of combat, were now hunted relentlessly. Every mission they flew turned into a trap. The once mighty German Air Force was bleeding out. By the spring of 1944, it was losing hundreds of planes every week. And even worse, the irreplaceable pilots who flew them. One German survivor later said, "We no longer owned the air. Every time we climbed, the Mustangs were there above us, behind us, everywhere." When D-Day arrived in June 1944, the change was complete. The Allies owned the skies. German tanks, trains, and reinforcements were bombed before they could even reach Normandy. The Luftwaffe tried to rise and fight, but it was too late. Doolittle's mad plan had worked. His fighters had torn the heart out of Hitler's Air Force in just a few weeks. It wasn't without cost. Many brave pilots never came home. But their courage and their general's vision gave the Allies something priceless: air superiority. From that moment on, the Germans would never again control the sky.